Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridhardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Translation. Even though one may be very learned and wise, he is mad if he does not understand that the endeavor for sense gratification is a useless waste of time. Being forgetful of his own interest, he tries to be happy in the material world, centering his interests around his home, which is based on sexual intercourse, and which brings him all kinds of material miseries. In this way, one is no better than a foolish animal.
Jada napashyati ajatha guneha sarthi pramatya sahasa vipaschit vatasmriti bindati tattva sapan asadya maithunna magaramagya. So, one has to be vipaschit, learned, to understand the interest of life, self-interest. Everyone is working, especially the karmis, the gyanis, the yogis, and mixed devotees. They are working for self-interest. The devotees also, so long there is self-interest also. So, there is little difference, and that the devotees, they work for super self-interest. There is self, but it is super self-interest. And the karmis, jnanis, yogis, they work for individual self-interest. Self-interest there must be. That is the difference between lust and prem or love. It has been defined in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. What is the difference between lust and love? It appears almost the same, but Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given a definition very clear. Atmendriya tripti vancha tar naam kam. When one is interested for his personal sense gratification, that is called kam or lust. And Krishnendriya tripti vancha dhare prem now. And when one is interested for satisfying the senses of Krishna, that is prem. And the concrete example is there in the Bhagavad Gita, that in the beginning Arjuna was thinking of interest of the family. How can I kill my brother? my nephews, my master, teacher, my grandfather, in terms of his family interest. There are, for the materialistic person, there are two varieties of self-interest. One is concentrated interest and other is expanded interest. Just like a child, if you give him some foodstuff, a cake, he will immediately eat himself. And if he is little liberal, then his other friends also he will give. First of all, first is he wants to eat. And then the other friend, oh, you are eating, give me something. All right, you also take. So, this is called extended interest. And the beginning is self-interest. Anna Brahma, I shall. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. So, in our ordinary activities we find the same thing. Suppose a big political leader, in the beginning, he is interested with his family members, but sometimes he takes the national interest for all members of the country or the society, community, and then there is fight between one community to another community, one family to another family, one nation to another nation, because that extended self-interest does not make the thing perfect. That extended self-interest must be up to Vishnu, then it will be perfect. But that they do not know, because they have no idea that there is Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, or Krishna. Nati vidu sarthagating hi Vishnu. They do not know. They think that I have extended my self-interest to my country, to my family. I have become a big man. And people also give him honor. This we have practical experience. But that is extended self-interest. That is not actually philanthropy. Philanthropy is when one becomes interested in Krishna's interest. That is real philanthropy. Otherwise it is all calm. There is no question of praying. It is going on as praying, Desha Bhakti, love for humanity. The whole world is going on. But these are all imperfect things. The so-called philanthropism, altruism, humanitarianism, they're all means imperfect. Nati vidu sarthagating Vishnu. That is not self-interest. Self-interest, just as this finger pick up some nice cake, rasgulla, but if the fingers think that we have got it, we shall use it, all the fingers together. It will be spoiled. But if the fingers think that give it to the stomach, then it will be everyone's interest. As soon as the Rasulullah goes to the stomach, the energy is distributed not only to these fingers of the right hand, but the left hand fingers also. This law they do not know. This law they do not know. Therefore it is jadana pasyati ajatha guneha. Everyone is trying, communally, nationally, individually, for his or their interest, that is not good. Sarthi pramata. They do not know what is real self-interest. Jadana pasyati ajatha guneha. Sarthe, everyone should be interested, but sartha, this is sartha, that if you get a nice foodstuff, if you put to the stomach, then real sartha. Not only the fingers which have picked up the foodstuff, not only he is interested, jasmin tushte jagat tushte. Jatha tarunmula pranopaharacha jathendriyana. If you put the foodstuff through this one way, not foolish way, that we have to put the foodstuff within the body. So there are 9 holes in the body, this mouth, the eyes, the ears, and the genital, the rectum, the navel. There are 9 holes. If some rascal says that any hole will do, you put the foodstuff through any hole. Sometimes it is done when one cannot eat, the foodstuff is forced in the body through the rectum, through the nose. That is very troublesome. But the real process is one process. You put the foodstuff through the mouth. It must go to the stomach, and then the energy will be distributed. Everyone will be happy. Similarly, if we serve Krishna, if we abide by the orders of Krishna and satisfy him, as he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. That is the perfection of life. If we work otherwise, forgetting Krishna, here it is said, Gata smriti bindati tatra tapa. If we forget Krishna, if we make our own plan to satisfy myself, community, society, nation, this is forgetfulness. And the result will be Gata smriti bindati tatra tapa. You get simply trouble. That is being done, actually. The whole world is forgetfulness of Krishna, or God. Krishna, forgetfulness. And they are making so many plans to become happy. But the result is bindati tapa, simply suffering, simply suffering. It will never be successful. The same example, jatha tarunmula nisechanena Tripantita skanda bhujopasakha. The process is that you have to pour water at the root of the tree. Then the tree will luxuriantly grow. But if you do not know the process, if you begin watering leaf to leaf, branch to branch, twig to twig, it will simply waste of time. You can say, I am pouring water on this leaf, on that leaf, on that. It will take, you cannot. There are so many leaves in the tree, it is not possible individually you can. But if you put the water, pour the water on the root, it is very easy, and all the leaves and twigs and flowers and fruits, they get nourishment. That is one. Yatha tarunmula nisechanena tripanti taskanda bhujopasakha pranopaharacha jathendriyana. And by offering food to the stomach, all the indriyas, senses, they become vigorous or strong. Similarly, sarvahanam achyutaijya. If you satisfy Krishna, achyutaijya, then the whole society, whole community, whole living beings, everyone will be satisfied. If you simply push on this Krishna consciousness movement, then all different activities of the human society will be very, very nicely performed. And if you do this nationalism, communism, it will never be perfect. So, we have got example in our country, many countries, not only our countries, your country also, that President Kennedy, he was killed, many other presidents also. In our country, Gandhi was killed. Because in that way, you cannot satisfy everyone. It is not possible. The so-called socialism, communism, altruism, humanitarianism will never be able to satisfy everyone. That is not possible. Kamadinam kutidana kutida palita dunnidesa tisanga maina karuna jata natrapa nopi shanti. These different types of isms, that is simply satisfying different desires. It is not the program. Dharma sanasita pumsa vishakshena katha suja notpatha edrating jadi samayeva hi kevalam. So, that is simply waste of time. The same thing is repeated. Nati vidu sarthagatengi Vishnu durasayadi bahirathamani na. Durasaya. People are trying to be happy by so many bahiratha, external desires. Artha means actual interest. And anartha upasamam saksat bhakti yogam madhukha. Artha means how to satisfy Krishna. This is artha. It is said, arthadam, arthadam, you can get real interest in this life. Kaumaro acharit pragya dharman bhagavatanya durlabhama manasu dharma jad adhurvam opi orthodam. This human form of life, although adhurvam, everybody, we cannot continue this body for all the time. It will be ended. Dehantara prapti, another body. So, this is the general rule for all living entities, either dog's body or hog's body or man's body. It will not stay, it will not endure. You have to change. Therefore it is called adhurvam. But the special advantage of this human form of life, Prahlad Maharaj says, although it is adhurvam, it will not stay, but orthodam. You can have your real interest fulfilled. Kaumaro acharit pragya dharmana bhagavataniha durlabham janma tadapi adhurvam orthodam. This we must understand. That although we have got also a body, and the dog has also a body, the same composition, Titiya Tej Marudmam, mind, intelligence and ego. There is no difference. The dog has also mind, and I have got mind, you have got mind. The dog has also intelligence, we have got also intelligence. The dog also can eat, you can also eat. The dog can sleep, you can also sleep. So there is no difference so far the bodily constitution. And superficially, if you cut my body, there will be blood. If you cut the body of an animal, there will be blood. So, in every respect, so far the material body is concerned, it is the same either of the human being or of a small insect. The same construction. Physiological, anatomical, everything is the same. But the difference is in other body there is no orthodam, but in the human body there is orthodam. You can realize your position, you can act accordingly, you can make your life successful. That is the special advantage of this human form of life. Therefore, it is said, Jadana pashyati ajatha guneha. We are struggling gune in this material world. Gunamai, maya. Maya is called gunamai. Gune means in the maya. Iha means aspiration. So everyone is trying, according to different modes of material nature, everyone is working, satagun, rajagun, tamagun. That is, everything is gune iha. So when one does not become conscious that I am working under the influence of material nature in different status of life, they are all useless. As soon as you see that it is all useless, sahasa vipasti, that is actually enlightenment. As soon as we find by the guidance of spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, by the guidance of Krishna personally, as soon as we come to this understanding that we are simply wasting our time, simply wasting our samayeva hi kevalam. When in the beginning, when I understood the one song of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Maya base baddho hai acho micha kaj loye. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, and many times he has said, Mayar base jaccho bhese khacho habu dubu bhai. Jiv Krishna Das evi shas korle tar dukkha nai. Very instructive, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's songs, very instructive. Simple, and Narottam Das Thakur. So, Hari Hari Vifale Janama Gwain. Manusya Janama Paiya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya. Janiya Suniya Visha Khaimu. He is regretting, lamenting. My Lord, I got this human form of life. Unfortunately, I have simply wasted. Why? Radha Krishna na bhajya. Manusya janama paiya Radha Krishna na bhajya. It is exactly like drinking poison knowingly. Sometimes we become poisonous unknowingly. Sometimes food poison or something poison. But if one takes poison knowingly, that means he is killing himself. He knows it. Similarly, in this human form of life, if we do not come to this understanding, that without Krishna consciousness, I am simply taking poison, then his life is spoiled. Gatasmiti bindati tatrutapa. He'll simply be put into miserable condition. That is nature's way. You cannot escape the stringent laws of material nature. You will go on suffering. Mrittu samsaravatmani. You will suffer again and again, this body and next body, next body. That is nature's way. But ahankara vimuratma karta aham niti madhva. This rascal, on account of false prestige, false knowledge, false education, he is thinking that I am independent, I can do whatever I like. Ahankara vimuratma karta. We have to give up this. Then vipasti, savaja vipasti. Otherwise, we have to continue the miserable condition of life. Gatasmriti, because we have forgotten our real position. What is our position? Our position is, as described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiver Sarupaya Nitya Krishna Da. Our real position is that I am eternal servant of Krishna. So, Gatasmriti, I have forgotten that. And therefore, Bhuliya tomare samsare asya pe nanavido vyatha. Bhaktivedanta Thakur's song. My Lord, forgetting you, I came in this material world. I am simply suffering, pe nanavido vyatha. The same thing is there in the Vedic literature, the same thing is instructed by the advanced, enlightened, liberated devotees, the same thing. This forgetfulness. We have forgotten what is our position. Temporarily, because I have got this body in India, I am thinking I am Indian. So my interest is Indian, and somebody is thinking my interest is American, my interest is Brahmana, my interest is Shudra, my interest is this, that. We have created so many interests. That has to be rectified. Bhavasatmika buddhi ekeha kururam. Bahusaka anantascha buddhi abhyavasaya. Be business-like. People say, talk business-like. Why you are talking nonsense? So Krishna says, yes, for businessman there is one interest, real businessman. Vyavasatmika buddhi ekeha kurna. One who is actually interested in business-like way to make some profit, arthadam, then that is only interest is how to become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, he'll manufacture so many interests. Bahusaka ananta buddhi abhyavasayana. One is actually not businessman, he is a rascal. He creates so many branches of different interests. The only one interest is how to satisfy Krishna. This is our only business. But forgetting this business, gata smriti bindati tatra tapan. Whatever business we are doing, we are simply suffering. The tapan asadha, he is actually tasting miserable condition. Then how they are working, this is the conclusion of this verse, how they are being baffled in every state, and how they are working so hard. You see, people are working so hard, day and night. They go to business or go to office from morning 5 up to 10 o'clock at night. They work, you will see in big cities how they are going, like the daily passengers, how they are hanging in the buses, going. Why? Why they are working so hard? It is not very simple thing. Why they are working so hard? The answer is Maithunna, sex intercourse, that's all. They have no other happiness except that sex intercourse at night he will enjoy, therefore he is working so hard. Otherwise there is no other happiness. Everything is zero. The only positive happiness, he is thinking like that. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham kanduyane nakarayu ribadukhadukam. That is the only happiness. There is no secrecy. The people are working so hard, simply maithunam agara. It is a prison house, agara. Agara means packed up, shackled with iron chains, and the only happiness is maithunam agara. And this is only abominable, tuchha. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham tuchham. So how he has accepted this lowest class of happiness as the aim of life? Agyan, rascal. The conclusion is agyan. So don't become agyan, be intelligent. And Krishna je bhaje seva rachu. Don't be rascal, don't remain rascal. Thank you.
जय श्री श्री राधा गोकुल नंद की, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान श्री श्री गौरता की। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today's class was on the 5th canto, 5th chapter, 7th verse. Does anyone remember the gist of the translation of the verse? Yes?
Even if somebody is intelligent, even if one is educated, if he engages in sense gratification, his intelligence is useless, something like that.
Yeah, thank you. I'll read out the translation. Even though one may be very learned and wise, he is mad if he does not understand that the endeavor for sense gratification is a useless waste of time. Being forgetful of his own interest, he tries to be happy in the material world, centering his interests around his home, which is based on sexual intercourse and which brings him all kinds of material miseries. In this way, one is no better than a foolish animal. So, Srila Prabhupada, in his usual way, he starts kind of picking out words one at a time from the verse and begins to elaborate. Does anyone remember what's the first word he takes from the verse? The first word he takes is vipaschit. Vipaschit means intelligence. So he begins to discuss that to understand one's real self-interest in life, they have to be vipaschit, they have to be learned, they have to be intelligent. And so he describes that everyone is working for their self-interest. Everyone in this world, the karmis, the jnanis, and the devotees, they're all working for self-interest. But what is the difference between devotees and all other people? What is the difference between their working for self-interest and others? They're working for Krishna's interest, yes. Prabhupada says that devotees are working for super self-interest, the interest of the super self, the super soul. And so he gives the difference. What is the difference between self-interest and super self-interest? And he says that one of them is kama, lust, and the other is prema, love. Those who are working for super self-interest, for Krishna's interest, they have love. And those who are working purely for self-interest, they're working under lust. And he cites a verse defining the difference between lust and love. Anyone know this verse from the CC? No one else is raising their hands.
Atmendriya priti vancha tare balikam Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare premana.
Thank you. Yes. And so, and Prabhupada also gives an example of someone from the Bhagavad Gita that was working for their self-interest. He says Arjun was also working for his self-interest. And his self-interest was that he was concerned for his family. So it wasn't just purely for himself, but Prabhupada also said working for his family was also a form of self-interest. And so therefore Prabhupada described two types of self-interest. Does anyone remember? He gave two types of self-interest. Okay, back to you. Yeah. So he said one type of self-interest is concentrated self-interest, which means purely for yourself. And another type of self-interest is expanded or extended self-interest, which means to the wider people around you. So he gave the example that you may give a child some cake, and at first the child may eat it themselves, and then their friend may ask, "Can I have some?" So then they may share it with their friends. So that's also extended self-interest. And so Prabhupada gives the example that one may act for the interest of their family, for their community, for their society, or their nation, But that it doesn't extend anything beyond that. It only goes it can only go up to the nation. It can't go beyond. Prabhupada says it can't go all the way to Vishnu. Self-interest can't go all the way towards working for the interest of Vishnu. And so therefore it's limited. And so therefore there's conflict, because people's self-interest only extends up to a certain point. And so then it conflicts with someone else's interest. And so he cites the verse from Bhagavad Gita, which he keeps citing throughout the talk about self-interest. Anyone know this verse from the 7th canto? No, 7th canto of Bhagavad. Did I say Bhagavad Gita? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no one else is.
न ते विदु स्वार्थगतं हि विष्णुं दुराशया ये बहिरर्थमानिनः अन्धा यथा अन्धेर उपनीयमानस् ते पीशतन्द्रया वृतां निबद्ध.
Thank you. Yes, so this verse talks about people don't know their real self-interest, right? And this seems to be the general theme of the whole class that Prabhupada gives, finding and acting under real self-interest. So Prabhupada goes on to talk about philanthropy, altruism, humanitarianism, and he says they're all imperfect because they're not for the interest of Krishna, unless they're for the interest of Krishna. And he gives the example of your fingers may pick up a sweet, a rasgulla, and if the fingers just want to enjoy it between themselves, then it will be useless. But the fingers have to give it to the mouth, give it to the stomach, and then there will be real satisfaction. Otherwise, there will only be problems. And so therefore he continues on this theme that we have to, in order to nourish the whole body, we have to feed the stomach. Later on he quotes, in order to nourish the tree, rather than taking care of each leaf and branch, we just have to water the roots. And so therefore, similarly, what we should be trying to do is trying to serve Krishna. And by trying to serve Krishna, then the whole society, all the nations, everyone's interest will be satisfied simply by acting in the interest of Krishna, making our interest Krishna's interest. Prabhupada says this is real philanthropy, to become interested in Krishna's interest. And Prabhupada gives the example that if people are not acting for Krishna's interest, then there will always be problems. He gives the examples of world leaders who are trying to please everyone. He says Kennedy, Gandhi, they were trying to please everyone, and in the end, they got assassinated because they couldn't do it, because people are only acting for their self or extended self. And then Srila Prabhupada quotes the verse from Bhagavatam. No one else is remembering any of the verses, so I'll just recite this one myself. Dharma svanushtita pumsam vishvaksena kathasya notpadayed yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. This verse basically says that if our activities don't bring about attraction for hearing Krishna, then it's all a waste of time. So Prabhupada takes the word artha, and he begins to expand on this word artha, and he quotes multiple verses, one after another, all having this word artha. So he quotes that verse from the 7th canto, which we quoted already, because that has the word bahira artha manina. Artha means here interest, Prabhupada defines. Then he also quotes from the 1st canto, anarthopashamam sakshat bhakti yogam adokshaje. And then he quotes again from 7th canto, Komaram acharet pradnyo dharman bhagavataniha durlabham manusha janma adruvam api arthadam. So then Prabhupada talks about arthadam and adruvam. Adruvam means temporary. So Prabhupada says our body is temporary. But what's the difference, therefore, between a human body and an animal body? So you may remember Prabhupada gives different details, different examples, how human body, dog's body, they're all the same. We're eating, we're sleeping, and the dog can also do that. If the dog gets a cut and we get a cut, both bodies will emit blood. There's no difference, practically, between animal body and human body. But the only difference is arthadam. Prabhupada says arthadam in the word-for-word translation means full of meaning. So the difference, the special quality of human life is it's arthadam, full of meaning. And then Prabhupada goes on to say that how can we understand? How can we understand that we're here in the material world, we're under the three modes of material nature? How can we get that meaning? So he says, by Guru and Krishna, we can understand this, that we're just suffering in the material world. We're just going on and on in this cycle. Under the influence of the false ego, we're thinking we're independent, but we're completely under control of the three modes of material nature. And because of this false ego, we've forgotten our real position. And so what is our real position? He quotes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jivera Swarupaik Nitya Krishna Das. We're an eternal servant of Krishna. And because we've forgotten, so people have all these identities, Indian, American, and based on these different identities, people have their different interests, limited to these particular identities. And so, if you want to be business-like, if you want no nonsense, if you want to just talk business, if you want to make a profit, then Prabhupada says, you have to look at that verse. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha karunandana. This is real business. This is how you can get real profit. By making one's only interest to satisfy Krishna. People are working so hard, they're waking up early in the morning to go to work, they're coming back late at night. And how are they continuing with all of this? What's the reason they're able to continue working so hard in the material world? What? Karma. Sex indulgence, pleasure. Basically, that small pleasure at the end of the day is enough for them to keep going, Prabhupada says. So therefore, he says, why are they kind of caught up like this? Prabhupada ends by saying they're adnya. He takes another last word from the verse. He says they're adnya, they're rascal, or they don't have intelligence. So therefore, Krishna ye bhaje se bada chatur. One who is worshipping Krishna, they're actually intelligent. So Prabhupada says, be like that, be intelligent. Make your interest Krishna's interest. And that's it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll end here. It's already time for breakfast, so no questions. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.